Hi, welcome to C Programming Tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn about arrays. Um, but before I start, as always, if you came here from from Facebook, I would recommend that you become the fan of the Facebook page. And the title of the page is Awesome C Programming Tutorials in High Def. And if you want, you can also become subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm saying all this because so that as soon as I post any video, you will be notified and you will know that a new tutorial has been posted, so you can watch that. Okay, so let's get started. So today we are going to learn about arrays, and as you can see, we are not gonna do much of coding, much of the writing the programs and stuff. Writing program is also called coding. C-O-D-I-N-G, coding. Okay, so let's draw some pictures here to understand the concept of an array. So far what we have been doing is we would do int x, and what it does is it basically in the memory of the computer, it basically allocates some space to store one number, just one number, x. Okay, and it calls that space x. So when we say x is equal to 1, what it does is it stores 1 in that location. So pretty simple, right? But sometimes we have like a collection of numbers to store. For example, like suppose in a classroom, for example, there are multiple students. There are 10 students, and you want to store the ages of all those 10 students. So one way to do would be x1 is equal to, you can say int x1 and then int x2, very cumbersome, and so on to int x10, right? Very cumbersome. And then for each one of them, you have to basically store the value, like x1 is equal to 10. One kid is 10 years old, x2 is equal to 9, is 9 years old, and so on. Okay, so it's not too practical actually. So to avoid this, what programming languages allow you and what C allows you to do is to basically create what are called arrays. Arrays are basically simply a collection of same kind of data types, same data type variables. Okay, that's what an array is by definition. So suppose in here we have to store age in years. Okay, so age would be is just going to be an integer, and we want to store it for all the students, not just for one student. So we need something like this, something that represents a collection of numbers, not just one space. Instead, we need something that would create a large number of elements where we can store that information. So here, for example, so we want something to in the memory to allocate like 10 different locations at the same time. Okay, and we will call it age. Okay, now age is not just one location. It is 10 locations, so we can store like 10 different values here, all of them the same type. What is the type? Integer, because it's going to be in years, and years is going to be in integer. Okay, I forgot to start my timer again, so I'll start now. Okay, let's see. So how do we so look, and how do we access those locations? Well, so simply using their index. What is the index? Index is the number or ID associated with each of these locations. Very simple. It starts from, you would think 1, but no, it starts from 0. In computer science, all the counting starts from 0. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So this whole thing is called age. But each of these elements are accessed using the index number. Okay, so there are 10 total numbers of elements here. 10 total number of elements here. Their index or their indices actually range from 0 to 9, which is 10 minus 1, one less than the total number of elements here. Okay, so 0 to 9. Okay, it's very much like in algebra. You may have used x0, x1, x2, x3. It's like this. Think of this as the subscript. You know, these as subscripts basically. Okay, these are subscripts of this array. This whole thing is called an array. And how do we declare something like this in C? You know, we declare one variable like this. We declare an array, a group of variables with the same name, which is age, like this. And these are the square brackets, and you put the total number of elements you want this array to have. These are called individual elements. So age, we want the name of this array is age because it stores the age of all the students. And how many students? 10 students. You could call it 100 students, whatever you want. Okay, so 10 students. And how are we going to access each of these elements? For example, if I want to make this as 9 years, okay, so how am I going to do that? I say age of 0, whatever the subscript is, we read it as age of 0, which is the 0th element, is equal to 9. Okay, so that puts 9 into age of 0 right here. If I want to put 13 here, what am I going to do? Age of 4 is equal to 13. It's basically the age of the student whose number is 4 or ID is 4. These could be the IDs of the students. So the age of the student whose ID is 0 is 9. Age of the student whose ID is 4 is 13, and so on. So this is how you access the individual elements in an array. If you want to add these two edges and store it in the variable x, you can do that. X is equal to age of 0 plus age of 4. Very simple. So this was the basic concept behind arrays. In the next tutorial, which will be the continuation of this tutorial, we are going to use it in program and see how it helps us write different programs. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to rate it 5 stars if you like this video. Thank you.